This adventure starts off in Brewer at the subway where I meet up with Dave and Kevin. We're headed out to the airline snack bar where we're going to meet up with Mo and then head out to Beddington to go for an overnight there, and then we're going to head up to Canada to St. Andrews and spend a night at a campground up there. So I'm pretty excited, never been to Canada before. I think it's going to be an awesome trip. Right now we're headed down Route 1 and we'll cut across to Route 9 and then head out to the airline snack bar. By the time we got there, Mo had already left. He got tired of waiting for us and was already at the campsite, and he was giving us reports of a little bit of a water crossing on the way.
Wet, Mitch. There might be a puddle on the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good one, huh?
I don't know. Most of it's a little deep. It's not bad though. We'll see. It looked deep when we went there, remember? Damn it. There's another pair of shoes. I did bring a second pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Our feet were wet last time we went. After we went to the hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walked around my socks for like pretty much most of the time we were there. Yeah.
So at this point, Kevin was getting a bit of a shimmy from his front tire, so we decided to check the pressure, and it was pretty low. And it actually, when we went over a bump, kind of funny, he said it felt a little weird. So we checked it, and the bead had come unseated. So we tried to put some air in it and get the bead to seat. Brought it up to 80 pounds, but still wouldn't pop. So he rode it like that, and it was fine for the rest of the trip. But we just made sure it was full of air and went from there.
60 pounds right there.
I wouldn't go past 80.
80.
Back down the road for just a few miles till we hit the turnoff. there was the water crossing. Not too bad. My feet got a little bit wet, but nothing terrible. Got a little muddy on the side that I went on, so got bogged down a little bit, but made it through just fine. There's Mo waiting for us on the beach. He had been there for a little while and had the whole beach to himself. Now we come to crash the party.
There's turtles nesting. There's turtles. Oh. No lights after dark. I noticed it was calm. Good. You guys made it through all that water.
It's deep.
I didn't think it was that deep the first time.
Well, I went off to the left.
There's still time.
We're right on the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Radar.
Yeah, it could go either way, really.
Yeah. If you were on that side of the lake, you'd never see it.
Is this going right now?
Oh yeah.
He's getting the banter.
No, there's no banter. Ever, really.
It's usually a
I
lot
don't
of
usually
potty
put a lot of
mouth.
voice on
A lot of potty mouth.
it. I'll put some very nice seductive music over this part.
He speeds it up so every time it looks like you're pounding.
Beautiful.
So we had this whole beach all to ourselves all night. It was awesome. Had a great time. Did some swimming. Had a nice fire. We avoided any rain that we saw from the distance. There was some hills that kind of sheltered us from the rain. So it's really a great time. Tried like hell to get a fire started with my flint stick, but it just would not catch a spark. So even though I had some birch bark and everything shredded up, but it just would not catch. So In the end, we used a lighter, got the fire going, went for a little swim.
Don't worry, the wardens will be here to shut it down anyway.
Give it time.
I just sprayed myself with the freaking bug spray and then went swimming and washed it all off.
So, all packed up and ready to go. Some of us feeling a little better than others at this point. But there were basically two choices: go back through the water or travel down the sandy beach and skip the water. Dave, Mo, and I decided to skip the water. Kevin went through it again. And the beach was a little sandy, but I've got a brand new D606 tire, so it was no trouble.
Sand in my shoe.
Everybody that goes by, look at.
So we did have to pull over so Kevin could purge himself of the Fireball whiskey. and we all made it across the border regardless. This is me and my first trip to Canada, and here we are at the campsite. So we're camped out on a point, and there are thunderstorms coming on both sides out in the ocean. But they aren't hitting us, and we're all hungry, so we decide to take a little trip in town and get some seafood. Starts to rain. We all pull over to decide what to do. And it's my bright idea to press on. Starts to pour. We got completely soaked to the bone. My leather jacket weighed about 50 pounds. It was just unbelievably wet. Lightning striking all around us. It was a pretty good adventure. But the seafood was totally worth it.
Alright, ready?
Number 21, please.
And then, on the way back, it started to rain again. then as we're riding, I just see this wall of wind and water coming towards us. I literally thought a tornado was going to come ripping through. I mean, it was unbelievable. You can see the trees whipping back and forth, and this is just pure hail coming down on us. So lucky for us, they didn't get hardly any rain at the campground. Again, we're on this point, and the rain just kept going around the point into the ocean. And so we stayed pretty dry. We didn't get any rain while we were actually at the campsite at all. So that was incredible.
Doesn't look like it rained too hard. Not bad. The dirt parking lot barely has any comments. I think we just followed the storm. Yeah. We drove into the storms and stayed with them. Not like that day up on
here we are on day 3, all packed up and ready to head back to Maine. Make a quick pit stop by Lumberjacks to get some breakfast, and then we're going to be on our way. About it for our trip to Canada. We all made it across the border just fine and all in one piece. So that was great. Right now we're headed back to Calais and then back to Bangor.
Alright. I wonder how many miles we put on this weekend.
I don't know.
Few.
I've got 91 since our last fuel up.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I got. I took a picture of my odometer before I left my house.
Oh, nice.
I was just curious. I'm always like, I wonder how far we went.
Yeah.
And Dave did report back that he did 280 miles. I did a little bit more probably because I live a little bit further away, so closer to 300. And not too bad for 3 days. So that was Canada in a nutshell. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks guys for making this an unforgettable trip. And I'll see you next time.